Good Saturday afternoon. How is everybody on an impromptu Saturday afternoon live stream where we're going to talk about your favorite gear, my favorite gear, your favorite speaker, your favorite amp, your favorite turntable. But most importantly, why? Why is it your favorite turntable, amp, speaker? Why is that? Oh, it's so good. Andy Russo, my man. All is well. I hope all is well with you too. Is all well? All is well. Speaker KEF LS50 Meta. It's your first hi-fi speaker? And you're swinging for the fences. Jacob.sc. All right. So now you have to tell me why it's your favorite one. Got more KEF LS50 fans. Favorite amp was Magnat MR Mr. 780 with Philips ECC 81 tubes. Very nice. I've never heard a Magnat amp nor speaker. I'm assuming you're from the UK, Europe, somewhere over there. Speakers, KEF LS50. Two votes for a KEF. It's crazy. Favorite amp, Def Techniker. Pioneer A656 Mark II from 91. Ooh, nice. 91's a good year. It is. Andy Russo. Good. Oh, I asked you if everything was going well with you. Hey, look, it's Brian Romska, channel member. Awesome channel member. And a patron. I own JBL Studio 580, 590, and JBL HDI 3800. I prefer the sound of the 590s, to be honest. Is that the tower or is that the bookshelf? I don't remember those. I remember I had one of them in early on, about 4 years ago. What's up? From Texas. Maheen Berry. I'm going to call you MB. Floor standing, old school, Sherwin Vega, DX9, bookshelf, Focal, Cora, 806. I think I heard the Focals in a place in Houston. They were actually pretty good for a little while. Then they got a little bit fatiguing. Pete Hiltner, purely aesthetics. I love the Dolly speakers. Oberon 3 in white are super gorgeous. I've never heard the Oberons. I've heard, what is it? The Spectre, 1 and 2, and then I had the Opticons in, which is nice. Long-time viewer, first time on the live stream. Well, thank you. Thanks for being here, Chris. That is awesome. Sorry, my buddy just sent me a picture of somebody taping the mirror back on their McLaren at an Ace Hardware, which is kind of funny. Oh, here, I'll show you the picture. This is funny. I don't know if you can see that. It's not every day you see a McLaren at the Ace Hardware taping their mirror on. It's funny. I'm going to tell him. I'm on a live stream right now, and I just showed that picture to everybody. So you're famous. Kind of. All right. That's it. Just upgraded from the Sony SS5 to Polk ES15s on my main system. Much fuller sound. Absolutely, for sure. I now have the upgrade bug. Doesn't that stink, Rob? Seems like we have upgrade-itis. Study 14, channel member. Thank you very much. Favorite amps now are my V3 monos and just the outputs from my RZ50. Man, a lot of numbers and letters. RZ50 for now. Oh, for now. Okay. I feel like I'm communicating with one of my kids. That's awesome. Studley 14, channel member. Very nice. Any other channel members in here? Channel members now get precedence. So channel members and super chats. Sorry, has to be done. Brian Romska, I got those Maggies hooked up to a Perot amp, New Zealand. Oh, you know what? I actually saw Perot in, where was it? It was in Malaysia, in Penang. They're really cool looking. Do you know that the first owner, or the guy that started Perot amps, actually, I should do a video on this, turned into a cult leader? Yeah. Left the company and started a cult, or I think started a cult while he was running the company, and then later went full-time cult. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Brian, for bringing that up. Perot amp equals cult. I'm not saying that they are now. I'm just saying that I'm pretty sure that's the story. I'm sticking to it. Emotiva T1 Plus and Yamaha 3-ways. Very nice. Hey, look at Simon Hackshaw, my buddy. Greetings, my friend. Good to see you. Good to see you, Simon. All right. What else do we have? Woo. Zombie B, American Kid, stand by you. All right. Favorite amp, Parasound P6 Pre and A23 Plus Power Amp. Favorite budget speakers, Kick, Sater, Prisma. Handmade in Germany, 1994. Another good year. I graduated from high school. Favorite speakers in general, Dine Audio Evoke 50. Cheap Audio Man. Full-time Cult Edition. I don't know if anybody would watch that video, but I'll make it. I find it interesting. Hey, my man. Good afternoon. Favorite amp is the Realistic STA 95 45-watt receiver. We are brothers, my friend. I don't know if I've ever heard the STA 95, though. Favorite speakers are the Emotiva Aeromotive B1 Plus bookshelves. Look at that. Even when I'm not shilling for Emotiva, I'm shilling for Emotiva. Look, new record day. It's an internet YouTube sensation. My man, my friend, Ronald. My overall favorite is the Encores. If you don't mind DIY, I just can't think of a better value, especially if you're chasing clarity, imaging, and soundstage. I do like the Encores. They're pretty good. Very good, Ron. What else is going on? What are you doing this weekend? McLaren, buddy got a new one with rust on the frame around the engine. $300K. It's a lot of money. Budget speakers, Magnapan LRS. I've never heard them. Maybe I've heard him at a show for like 5 minutes, but I don't think. Look at this. Simon Hackshaw, new YouTube member. Bam. Thank you, Simon. I have to make a members only video today. John Brender, my man, $1.99. Thank you so much, John. Sherwood HP 2000 and JBL L166 or L100. John has a great channel. It's called something JBL. John, put it in the comments. Anyway, you need to check it out if you haven't seen it. He restores JBL speakers, and it's an amazing channel. C. Bauer, Love, Sublime 2. Kind of nasty. Did I already read that one? I don't know. All right. Owen just got back from his niece's wedding. Glad I've come on to catch the show. You're not going to miss much, Owen, if you do miss it. Just a bunch of buffoonery. Oh, my good friend. All good, my friend. SVS Ultras opened up my music. They're a good speaker, man. Very good. When they discontinued those and they had them on sale, that was a great deal. Baron of Gray Matter likes his Cornwall boars. They are excellent all around. I would hope so. I've heard the Cornwalls at one of my patrons in Oregon. and they were incredible. It was like what was really incredible is how neutral they were to the source. So when we changed amps and stuff like that, it changed the sound of the speakers like remarkably. If someone would have told me we were listening to a different speaker, I would have believed them because it was that much. Old School Bus channel member. I thought it was Friday. Duh. It's Saturday afternoon. My daughter's at a birthday party, so I figured I'd do a live stream. Steadily 14. Randy replacing cheap Duke P6 preamp with a Fozzy P4, but had to control V3s somehow. Very nice. Got a Boston Acoustics vote in here. Boston Acoustics VS366 or 336. Never heard of them. All right, this guy's a bear and a mobile DJ. People notice the difference in good quality sound. Good. Very good. Yorkville Elite 1000s. We're getting some deep cuts here. 1,000 watts continuous into 8 ohms. Canadian beasts. How much did that weigh? That had to be a very heavy amp. Oh, look at this. Wirehead, my man, channel member, one of the OGs, been here forever, since the beginning. I've been listening to a few sets of vintage speakers paired up with my SVS 3000 micro. It's been a lot of fun. Lots and lots of old AC/DC Bon Scott tests. Very nice. I was listening to a little bit of music, so I just hooked up the Gunyear. It's a DAC from Schkitt. Pretty expensive one. I think it's like $1,600. And then I hooked that up to the Kara, the new one, Kara 2 or something like that, and then the Wotan. So it's a whole stack of Schkitt. And then I have the PSBs on it. Kind of nice. It's a little bit of a different sound, but I was really enjoying it. Look at this, Vandersteen. Best speaker I ever heard, Vandersteen Model 7. One of my patrons has a pair of Vandersteens, I think, and he loves them. DefTech BP10s and BP20s. All right. I think that's the first time anybody's dropped DefTech in here as their favorite speaker. If you like the Cornwalls, I'd recommend pairing them with a Luxman integrated. You won't be disappointed. I use the Luxman L507Z. Luxman's a little bit above my pay grade. I'll have to ask my buddy though. He's got some money. He should get a Luxman. You'll be amazed what that little sub can do with a set of Neumi BS5s. You know what's weird about that subwoofer? I had one in, and I felt like I was bottoming it out. I felt like I was doing something wrong because the SB1000 Pro, to me, sounded better, deeper, fuller, more confident. And I just didn't get it because everyone was raving about the 3000 micro, and I couldn't push it very hard. Probably doing something wrong. Hey, Randy. Hey, Rom Hoffman. Right now, Magnet MA900 and Elac DVR62 endless power. We got 2 magnets coming in here. 2 at one time. I don't think anyone's ever mentioned magnet before on this show. Joanna, $5. Thank you so much. You're the best, Joanna. Hey, which best closed headphones can you recommend for no more than $700? Best quality sound overall. Also, which light DAC amp Bluetooth? Thanks. Okay. Not a super huge headphone guy, but let's see. Closed, that makes it more difficult. I'll say this, the closed Sundaras from Hyveman, I thought are really good. What else do I have going? The Dan Clark are pretty decent. The problem is both of those are planars, and you'll need a pretty beefy, especially a dongle DAC. Maybe you mean like a portable DAC amp that has its own battery. I don't know. Outside of those 2 headphones, I don't really have much to recommend. I've never really listened to a bunch of higher end closed backs. I've listened to some higher end like open backs, but those would be my only recs. As far as a DAC amp, I think iFi may have some that you can charge up, and then I think X Duo might have some too, but I don't know if they're DAC amps together. I know iFi has one. So yeah. That's all I have. Sorry, Joanna. Maybe that's not very helpful, but I hope it is. Eugen, Doherty, 5, what is that? Pounds? Quid? Just got some DB53s after your video. Nice. What do you think of them? What's your opinion? I want to know. All right, we got that one. I think we missed one up here. Got Brian Romska. We had Joanna. All right. Sennheiser mobile DJ studio and for home use. Sennheiser has some decent closebacks. They're a bit like a little bit neutral for me, a little bit too neutral for me. But after a while, they kind of like I start to get them after a while. Hey Randy, favorite amp? Marantz 2238B. Favorite speaker? ADS L570 2 and L782. Because all I have. One of my best friends is just in love with ADS speakers. And Kevin from Skylabs Audio loves ADS too. I don't know why people don't, because everybody that I talked to about ADS just like raves and raves and raves about them. So I don't know why people don't make a speaker that sounds like that. If you are an ADS fan and you've listened to something recently that sounds like ADS, please put it in the chat because I would be interested in knowing what speaker sounds like an ADS. Oh my goodness, we got a GG Allen content. Hey, Cheap Audio Man, not Cheap Mind Man. One speaker's for GG Allen, others for Butthole Surfers, the next one to Diamanda Gallus. I love my Pentas B&O. Yeah, GG Allen, what a trip. I don't know if his stuff was well recorded. Macintosh MA352. Very nice. DAC with Bluetooth. Isn't that a diminishing return on investment? Yeah, I don't know if that was the question or not. Yeah, it could be. I don't love Bluetooth. Starting from scratch. I only have an old Pioneer AV receiver and small Yamaha Surround 5.1 speakers. Where start? Well, if the old Pioneer receiver is like a early 80s or late 70s, that's awesome if it's working correctly. Depending upon your budget, I would look at getting a decent pair of speakers because those surround speakers are probably little, not very dynamic. You can look at something like an Elac Debut 3.0. The 5.25 inch comes in at $350. The 6.5 inch comes in at $450. They're both very good. They're going to be a little bit warm though. If you want something with a little bit more clarity on top, the Cambridge Audio SX50 is $200. The SX60 is $300. And then, that's where I would probably start for sure. For sure. Hey, 8-Track loves his 3030Is. Absolute beasts. They are palpable on the bottom. Literally bought them online today. Don't arrive until Tuesday. Very good. Are you excited? I always get very excited when I buy new stuff and I'm waiting for it to be delivered. Have you listened to Audio Analog for Tissimo AirTech? I feel like you're making up words, Mikey, Eden. So no, I haven't. But that's a really interesting group of words put together. All right. Wirehead likes the Sennheisers for neutrality. Yeah, they're pretty neutral, depending upon the pair. GG Allen is a lot more than a trip. Don't be in the front row. Eesh. I've said this. I don't know if everybody's heard it, but the guy that did Hangover 1, 2, 3, the guy that did Joker 2, which was terrible. His student film was a documentary on G.G. Allin. His name escapes me right now. My favorite speakers are ADS, by far. So tell me in the comments if you know of anything that's recent that's being made that kind of has ADS vibes. Please put it in the comments. S8 Michael Owens, channel member. SAE Mark X10B Marantz tuner and preamp and Videoton speakers from the 70s. Wow. I don't know what a Videoton speaker is. Let's see. Do we have any more channel members? Hey, Steve Zeidman. Me too. L710. Steve, I was just talking about you, not by name though. What's like a current speaker that sounds like the ADS? Tell me. I guess if there was one, you would probably own it. Would be my guess. But you've listened to a lot of speakers. Steve is a big ADS guy. Loves them. Loves them. Amp Vidar 2 because there's nothing better that I can afford. Huh, Vidar 2. I don't think I ever heard the Vidar 2. I know I had the Vidar 1 and I heard the Vidar 1. Any recommendations or opinions regarding small tube amps? William? If it's a speaker amp that you want, then go check out Black Ice Audio. They have one. Their most affordable one, I think, is $600 or $700. I don't remember what type of tubes it has. That's probably the most affordable one. If you just want a tube buffer or a headphone amp, you can look at a bunch of stuff from X Duo. They're like $100, $200 thereabouts. Then there's some stuff that you get. I think it's called China Hi-Fi or something like that. And it's a legit tube amp. It's big. I didn't particularly love it, but if they're still making them, they're fairly affordable, like maybe $400. Then you can look at stuff from like Monoprice or Dayton Audio, but I haven't had great experiences with them. If you can, I would just try to like save up and then look at the Black Ice stuff because it's pretty good as far as tube go. I mean, I'm not a big fan of tube amplifiers, but as far as affordable tube amplifiers go that don't suck, it doesn't suck that bad. Aima A80. I love that thing. I wish they would have stock of them. Yamo. Farouk Thomas. Haven't heard many current speaker offerings, but what I appreciate about the ADS sound is it's balanced, neutral, presentation, and tonal. Let's see if Steve chimed in here. Whew. Man, we got a bunch of channel members here. Yaman Zine. Favorite speakers and amp I own are the Sonus Faber Sonetto and a Sansui AU something 907 DR. That sounds nice. I love me some Sonus Faber Lumina 2 Amateurs. Tannoy. I miss my Tannoy 607 stand mount speakers. A huge rock sound, but too top heavy with Rugrats learning how to walk. Yeah, that's the truth. You got to be careful. Steve Zeinman throwing me a $9.99. ADS wins the day. I know, Steve, but tell me. Thank you for the super chat too, by the way, which you don't need to do considering you're already like one of my OG patrons. Tell me, is there anything new that kind of has the ADS vibe? Tell me in the comments. Tyler Cheeseman. Good to see you. I think one of the best sound to value speakers are the Atom Audio T8V. Game changing. I've never had them in. There's another powered monitor that I need to get in. Zev. He was talking about the Cambridge Audio affordable line of speakers. I can't remember the model number, but they have a bookshelf set for under $200. SX50. Hello, Frugal Audiophile, by the way. Welcome. SX50 and then the SX60. 60's 300 and the 50's 200. Favorite speakers, hello Michelle, are ADS with my 710. Look at this. I mean, it's an ADS cult in here with my 710s being my favorite. My favorite amps are the Sansui with my AU 6600 being my favorite. Very nice. Very nice. Wirehead, you gifted a membership? I didn't even know you could do that. Who did you gift a membership to? So cool. I had no idea that was the thing. Thank you, Wirehead. We all know Cheap Audio Man is getting a Yamaha with the 5,000 from Doge. I would love it if we got a $5,000 check. That would be awesome. Think about that. Think about how much hi-fi would be bought with the Doge $5,000 check. It's a hi-fi stimulus package. Best speaker I ever had was the DefTech. Another DefTech vote? This is so weird. We have 2 DefTech comments. We have 2 Magnat amplifier comments. And we have a slew of ADS in here today. Very interesting. This is a weird. That's why we live in a simulation. It's proof that we live in a simulation. We got 2 Magnat, 2 DefTech, which is very rare, and then a bunch of ADS. ADS is a little bit more common. Lost them in a divorce though many years ago. What is she going to do with a set of speakers? Or did you have to like sell them? Or did she actually, was she that mean that she said, "Oh, you love that, so I'm going to take it from you"? Please fill us in on the deets. Wirehead at it again. Brogu, did you get a membership gifted to you? Thank you, Wirehead. It's very nice of you. Hey, Frugal Audiophile. Yeah. Loving. All right, here we go. XT3 towers and XPA amp. Very nice. Emotiva family plays well together. They like power. Very big. Oh, Charlie, what's up, my man? Charlie and I were texting yesterday, I believe. Yeah. Emotiva is good stuff. Super nostalgic about Snell E3s. I used to run with a beautifully restored Scott 299B amp from 1961. That was my favorite combination. Fast, punchy, liquid sound. Liquid sound. What does that sound like? I think about my grandfather peeing. I'm just kidding. With great presence and timing. Very nice. I need you to unpack the liquid sound a little bit more, though. Bicky Bickford, $1.99. Thank you. Thank you so much. Denon POA 1500 amp. Man, there are so many model numbers that I am unfamiliar with. And VMPS Tower 2 speakers, not the ones, the 2s. Very nice. I have the DR2 and the DR1s, that much better. Oh, you have the Emotiva DR1s? They're bananas. Christopher Brown, $5. Thank you, Christopher. Very much. Feel in love with music listening to my dad's Sony SS250 with those cool fabric grills. Huge 8-inch woofer, warm sound listening to R&B, funk, and jazz. I'm not familiar with those either, but like how cool would it be? Like I have some of my dad's tools and like my grandfather's tools and some of my great grandfather's tools. Like I just love like using them makes things just that much more enjoyable because like, oh, my dad used this, my grandfather used this, so how cool would it be to have like a nice pair of speakers that your dad used and he enjoyed them? It's pretty cool. I love that. Love it. Man, we have some comments rolling in. Oh, Dahlquist. Yeah. Actually, one of my patrons is a big Dahlquist fan. He bought some Dahlquist from like the 90s. Got to build the cheap audio tribe. That's right. All right. Good job. Sadly. All right. So I have to click on all the channel members. I don't know how long this thing is going to last. But we're going to do it. We're going to click on all the channel members when they make comments. DefTech has some of the best subs for music with the Pro Sub 800. Liquid Sound. That is nasty. Liquid Sound. I have a 4-month-old pup. She makes liquid sounds, but not like that. Yes. Yes. Here's an unusual... Ainsley, thank you for being here. Here's an unusual choice, especially here in the UK. This American brand is literally non-existent, but the Altec Lansing mini monitors. Super neutral speaker, which sound ace with rock/metal music. Ooh, nice. Hey, what is that one small monitor speaker that came from the UK that everybody flips out about? And it looks like it was made in a garage. It has like Velcro on the front and staples. Do you know which one I'm talking about? It made the rounds a while ago because I think it was China Hi-Fi made some really cheap ones and then sent them out. So that speaker made the rounds for a while. I actually think Steve Seidman, if he's still on, had a pair for a little while. They were so good, he like immediately got rid of them. Soundproofing bedroom door today. Cheap hollow acts like a planar panel. That's the truth. All right, Brian's got to go. Thanks for stopping in. Baron of Gray Matter, $5. Her dose check may be $8K. So here's $5 since we were getting a bump. Bucard SUB10 is really nice. $1,400. Has DSP. Easy to place anywhere. Yeah, I've got the Bucard P400s. I thought they were pretty good. Oh, here we go. By the way, like, is this a thing? Is it going to happen? Because that would be really cool. Hattori Hanzo. Love my Ebony Philharmonic BMR monitors. Quite a setup from my Elac 3.0. Philharmonic's a cool company. I just talked about them recently. And I think that it was 13 underrated speakers or something like that. Yeah. Hey there, Cheap Audio Man. Claudia here from Venice, Italy. Hello. I've been to your fine, beautiful, wonderful city last year. Was all over Italy. It was wonderful. Bought a pair of B&W 685 S2 back in 2017 and combined them with the Marantz MCR 610. They sound great with anything. Very nice. I've only had one pair of B&Ws and I didn't love them, but I could see why people like them. Have a good one. Wirehead. Oh, that's Brian Romska. You're the man. Thanks for turning me on to Edifier. You're welcome, Bill. That was back in I shot an Edifier video at work. Single shot, no editing on a Google phone or an Android phone. Back in the day. That's how we used to roll here at the Cheap Audio Man. Single shot, cell phone. Those were okay. It needed a sub though. And the thing that always perplexed me about Edifier is they sold a bunch of these powered speakers without subwoofer outputs. And they made no bass too. So it never made any sense. But the ones that I got, I actually hooked up to a subwoofer. And it was quite good. And the imaging was next level because my desk wasn't against a wall. So I had this single office and the desk was in the middle of the room and I had them facing me. Spectacular. Tandberg 2080 receiver was superb in the 80s. Very nice. Very, very nice. Random super. Favorite speaker amp combo was a set of realistic Mach 1s with an unknown Yamaha amp. The sound of my childhood that I still chase to this day. Isn't that the truth? We always chase it. I'm not familiar with the Mach 1s. Was that a floor standing speaker, a bookshelf? What was it? Vintage Metallica DBS equal quality to me and my buds. Very nice. All right, Wirehead. Yep. Okay. Build the tribe. Old school bus. Thank you. Oh, here we go. This is it. Ainsley, I know what you're talking about. The BBC LS3/5A mini monitors. The Altecs I have are really close. WTF happened to Altec? Seriously. From what I understand, they made some of the best speakers ever. Yeah. One of my buddies didn't care for that LS, whatever it was, 5A. Didn't love them. He said it was all mid-range. What's your favorite Fluance speaker? It's been so long since I've listened to one. I think there's like a $200 one, but I haven't listened to Fluance speakers for a while. So I couldn't make a recommendation. And looking back, that was one of the first videos I did because I was just buying as many cheap speakers as I could. And there's been better stuff I've listened to recently. So that's a long way to say I don't think I can even recommend a Fluance speaker. They were really, really neutral. And the irony is that one of the videos that I did was like the best speaker under $200 or something like that. But since the Cambridge SX50s exist, the Neumi BS5, the Neumi Silk 4, Sony SSCS5, the Mica RB42, all those exist, and I think they're all better than the Fluance. KEF LS50 lovers are like the tone deaf architect that like Wilson Audio, no accounting for taste. People love the LS50s. I get it. They're not for me, but I get it. Dustin, you're welcome. Not gonna lie to you. Hey, Liverpool, UK. I've just ordered the SMSL CD player. Nice. You reviewed a couple of months ago. Still getting good reviews on Amazon. Make sure you get a 2.3 amp 5-volt power supply or higher. Won't work if you don't have a decent little power brick. So all the cell phone chargers, none of them will work on there. Yep. Would you still pick the Sony SSCS5 200 over the Neumi BS5 120 today? Not at 200. I would not. But at 120 or even 150, personally, I would probably get the Sonys because it's got a sound that I enjoy. The Neumis are incredible though for 120. For sure. At $200, I would buy the Cambridge SX50 over the Sonys. But once the Sony, it's this silly pricing game they play. Once they drop down to 120, that's kind of that's the buy signal for people. And there's also the Elac BS41s, which are a different sound. It's a very warm sound, but they're very good for, $140. Yeah. Studley 14, my man. Good night from Israel. Good night, Anonymous. I hope you're going to review 3E audio amps at one point. I would love to. I don't know of them, though. Macintosh MC312 powering DIY speakers designed by Trolls Gravison. I'm not familiar with any of those people. Genesis Physics 2. Hi from Florida, Randy. Hey, man. How are you? You're welcome. I just received my NE. Very good. Badoy from Montreal's the Elac Unify reference is a significant upgrade. Really? We're going to have to disagree on this one. Of the Unify 2.0 UB52. Oh, are you asking me? No, I don't think they are. Actually, I think the Unify 2.0 sounds better than the reference. I think it has a better top end. That's really what it comes down to. I think the Unify 2.0 has a better top end than the reference. The reference to me feels a little bit rolled off, especially anything above 8K just seems like it doesn't exist with a reference. The 2.0 though, now keep in mind, if you don't have them, they take forever to break in, and they do a little bit of power. Forever to break in, but once they do and they open up, they're pretty good. But yeah, I would definitely go with 2.0. Plus the 2.0s go on sale for under $500. The Unify reference, I think the MSRP was $1,200. Not at all worth it, in my opinion. Get the if you're set on those, get the 2.0s when they're on sale, because that's a decent speaker at $500. I think the 2L Plus is going to be a big winner for Emotiva. What is that? Is that a bug that was on the back of my neck? It's cool. It's $350. It sounds great. It's super dynamic. It's $350. Full size amp. Toroidal transformer. It's good, man. They're good. Very good. I've been running that just with a Wiim Ultra for pretty much anything lately. And it's great. I mean, it's such a dynamic sounding amp. It's got a really good tone to it. I actually think it sounds better than some of their other more expensive amps, but I really dig it. Billy Winsock, longtime patron, wonderful person, favorite amp ever, NAD 3020S. A best amp I've heard. Anything from Burmester. Very nice. Billy, I hope you're doing well, my friend. All right, Yaman Zine, channel member. I had the Edifier R1200 dB for my desktop setup. Sounded decent at low volume, but I felt compressed at slightly higher volume. Moved to a pair of Airmotive B2 Plus with two Fozzy ZA3 monoblocks. Oof, yummy. Yummy. My favorite brand across the board, that's hard to say. I mean, if it would have to be one, it would be Emotiva. Simply because they make amps and speakers, and I like both of them very much. But my favorite brands across the board, I think I just did a video about this. Maybe not my favorite, but ones that I think are on the rise. So I love Emotiva. I love Cambridge Audio. I love Schiet Audio. I love Gishelli Labs. I love Advanced Paris. I love Q Acoustics. I love Elac. Yeah, those are the only ones that are popping off my head right now. I like SVS. Yeah, those would be the ones right now. But if it could only be one, it'd be Emotiva. Simply because they actually make everything. Saving my summer lifeguard money for Sparkos takes 2 for each V3. How old are you if you have a lifeguard gig this summer? Or is that a joke? B&W or Klipsch. I'm going to go against patriotism here and say Klipsch. At a premium price, I've always found something missing with B&Ws. All smoke and no poke. Interesting. What do you think about Outlaw amps? I had the monoblocks in. So I've heard it's like $1,000 kind of receiver or integrated amp. And then I've heard their monoblocks. They're good. I mean, there wasn't anything that was like, oh my goodness, this is like the next greatest thing or the greatest thing, but they're definitely really good. I liked them. I just got some B&W AM1s from my ceramics studio. I'm powering them with an old Onkyo TX something. I had a couple of those TX. They sound like ass. I'm hoping I'm just not powering them properly. B&W. I'm not familiar with B&W AM1s, but I am familiar with old Onkyo TX. Was it like a 636 or something like that, or 635? It's a home theater. That thing's thin. It was anorexic. It was so thin. So if the B&W AM1 sound anything like the B&Ws that I heard, no way that's going to be a great pairing, because those Onkyos, super thin, no dynamics, very kind of brittle, and the B&Ws are so popped up in the upper mid range that I could see that being a really bad combination. Good gravy. A lot of comments coming in. I cut open a cooler to put in a woofer. Very nice. Let's see. Have you heard of the Chromecast global mess from a week ago? They actually fixed it. I love my CC audios. They have great DACs. I did not hear about a Chromecast global mess, but it sounds interesting. I just got the new Emotiva you posted a week ago. Oh, the A2L Plus. Love that thing. I was actually sad. So I put the I was putting a new system in my rack, and I had to take the A2L Plus out. And I was kind of sad. Like, it's just so good. So good. So good. Here we go. Mike Campbell, Randy, I'm an old Navy guy on a budget. Thanks for your service. Elac debut DB53/633 or Q Acoustic 3020i or KEF 150. So the 53 and 63 are good. They sound really big, and they have a bit of a emphasis around 300 hertz. So they're warmer sounding, not extended at all on top. So you're not going to hear a lot of air. The Q Acoustics 3020i are very neutral. So they're very different from the Elacs. They do have more top end than the Elacs do. But depending upon the recording and the amplifier you have on them, may sound a little bit thin on the bottom. So I wouldn't call them exactly the opposite of the Elac, but they're fairly different. The Q150 is a little bit warm, but it does have some top end extension, and it also has some pretty clean vocals. It's crazy to say this, but I think I'd go with the KEF 150s, depending upon how loud you play. If you play really loud and you like a warm speaker, then the Elacs. But yeah. What do you think about absorbers from ISO Acoustics? Interesting that you say that, because I was talking to their PR person. Maybe not PR. Yeah, I think it is PR. And I think I'm going to get a bunch of them sent in. I have the ones for bookshelf speakers right here. I do think those make a big difference, especially on a desk or like a table. If you have your rack in that, or if you have your speakers on top of the rack. So those do make a difference. I'm getting the absorbers I think you can put under components like electronics. I'm interested to see. I'm very curious just for myself. But it's a good company, good outfit. And stuff is a little bit expensive for sure, but it's good. And I think they stand behind it. Feliciano became a YouTube member. I need to send you that Pioneer receiver I told you I would send you about 2 years ago. Wirehead, I have the K150s, but I'd choose the 3020Is. There you go. Michael McNulty, dude, you're always giving me money, Michael. You're very kind. My favorite speakers, Klipsch 3.2. Now I have Sony SSCS5 in a closet in my wife's craft room. Very tight, but I can hear them. Never downsize where you live. No truer words have been spoken. Yeah. I appreciate that, Michael. You're very kind of you. All right. More ADS. I'm an ADS fan. L910s are my favorites, but I have a pair of the 1590s. What are the 910s? Are those like giant? Because I thought the 710s or 720s were the big ones. There's some that look like refrigerators. I can't remember which one that one was. Salty Walt. What is the next next product direction for Wiim? A super entry-level streamer or a more premium streamer or an active passive speaker to complement their streamers? Ugh, I have no idea. This is all pure speculation. I would doubt that they would go cheaper because they kind of started like cheap and then they keep going up. So I would imagine the next product they're coming out with would be an amplifier that has a screen. If I had to make a bet, but just this pure speculation on my part. That's what I think they would do. They may come out with a more premium streamer. Maybe. I don't know though. But even if, like, here's the thing about, like, so the Ultra is $330 and you can get it like 10% off on Amazon right now. Even if that doubled to like $600 and they improved it, that's still like the most affordable streamer with a screen that you could get. They got some room. So, but if I were a betting man, I would say it's going to be an amp with a screen. Mark P just got the Ultra and the Emotiva amp. Any speaker recommendations for this pairing? Wow, you got the whole Cheap Audio Man starter kit. It depends on your budget, and it depends what you like the sound of. If you're on a super tight budget, the Cambridge, I like the SX50s. That amp, even though it's not like 100 watts, will drive the Elac BS 41s fairly well. If you can swing it, the 5020s from Q Acoustic are brilliant. The XB2s or the XB1s, but the XB2s, if you're in a bigger room, from Emotiva are brilliant. Debut 3, brilliant, but warm. So I would take a look at those if you can. Hey, Nick, how's it going? All right. Did I miss any super chats? I don't think so. KLH Model 5, powered by Cambridge AXR85. Paul, do you find them a little bit like thin on the bottom? I found the KLH Model 5s thin on the bottom. And I turned the treble mod like way down and then slammed them all the way against the wall to try to get some room gain. That wasn't like a speaker that I just loved, but I know people love it. There was some magic on some percussion and stuff because of the aluminum dome tweeter. I just never felt that speaker was very dynamic or punchy on the bottom. Oh, Linton or Super Denton? I've never heard the Super Denton. Jake? I haven't. I've only heard the 80th edition Denton. So I've never heard the 85th and I've never heard the Super Denton. I've heard the Linton and the Super Linton. I prefer the Super Linton. But yeah, so I couldn't answer that question, unfortunately. Lintons are good. They're neutral. Not super extended on top, but they do have, because of their size, they do have this really cool three-dimensional, very unique like soundstage and presentation. For sure. But if the Lintons are on sale for like $1,500, I mean, that's a good deal for that speaker. Just keep in mind, it's not going to be like the utmost in transparency on the top. For sure. No sparkly from the Lintons. Yeah, I agree with that. I love Advanced Acoustics XI50 BT and Cirrus 1 linear speakers. They sound detailed, solid, and natural, especially paired with a dynamic DAC like Topping E50. Why nobody talks about them? Advanced Acoustics, I've never heard of them. And Cirrus 1 linear speakers, I've never heard of them either. The only thing I have heard is the Topping E50. That's it. More bass up against the wall, paired with Klipsch RSW sub. Yeah. Yeah. I ran them just like without a sub though, because I think a speaker that size should be able to hold its own when it comes to bass. But I totally understand why people like that speaker. Ramon Delgado, longtime viewer. Every time I put the SSCS5 back in rotation, I smile from ear to ear. Recently fell in love with Dyne Audio Evoke. This is second Dyne Audio Evoke vote for today. Linton is butter. Love my Roctopus shirt. Thank you, Randy. That's right. You did order a shirt. I'm glad you got it. Yeah, I'm glad you got it. we're running a little bit low on some of them. So I think right now we still have all of the sizes left, but they're going quickly. Look at this. This is the new t-shirt, screen printed. Very nice. It's a high quality t-shirt. The t-shirts from Teespring on which is one of the YouTube partners. Terrible. Like I got one and it flaked off like almost immediately after the first wash. Carry Audio, made in the USA. Not sure why they don't get much love. I get it. They are expensive. Made in the USA and worth it. Usually I don't like go hunting for people, so people will contact me. And that's kind of how I get my gear. And then over the years, I've just created relationships. So, I talk to certain people quite a bit. I've never talked to them though, but I would love it. I love made in the USA stuff. JBL Studio 1890 powered by Bass X A7 for home theater. Very nice. Mad, yeah, it could be my Wi-Fi that causes it to disconnect, but it's still frustrating. Oh. Gabriel Technics SB RX50 speakers, 15 years and still no reason to change them. Very nice. I like that. I like that very much. Amp to power pair of Polk XT15s around $200. If you can find one, the IEMA AD80, it's got a DAC in it and a screen, and it's fun. It's $200. Then you could look at ZA3 from Fozzy Audio is at $150. You can look at IEMA A07 Max, which is like $80. You'd need to get a DAC with that though. It's kind of like why I like the A80 from IEMA. Those make me a little bit nervous though, because there's just so much going on in such a small package. Yeah. I can't remember exactly what the XT15 sounded like. They're good. They're way better than the T15s. Any thoughts on OSD audio? I met one of the guys that owns OSD audio a few years back, and they look great. I mean, they, big toroidal transformers, decent components and stuff. I mean, it's made in China and coming through, but like everything's made in China, right? So yeah, I've just never gotten a chance to get my ears on any. We talked about it. I think he was going to send me some stuff, but never happened. But yeah, I think OSD is probably good. I think they make some speakers too, which aren't really up my alley as far. I think it's a lot of like kind of multi-channel speakers, and then maybe some outdoor channel or some outdoor speakers and stuff like that. But from all of my interaction with OSD audio, they're a decent outfit. I think maybe I did review something from OSD audio. I can't remember for sure. Maybe someday I will know the brands you all talk about. Have you heard the IOTA VX? No, but it's coming. I'm going to be listening to it. So absolutely. Actually coming from Bob to me. It's very cool. It's going to make a bit of a... the IOTA VX is going on a tour, a YouTube tour. Yeah. Let's see what else. Love to see some more reviews of Triangle Towers, high V Swans. I don't have a contact with Triangle. I did one video about them, the Bro 3s. I bought them myself, though. I've never talked to anybody at Triangle or anybody that imports them or anything like that. All right. Just replaced my Emotiva Bass X A2 with an XPAC. Absolutely love it. Very nice. All right, we're going to call it, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks, everybody who became a member, who shot me a super chat, and that commented and watched. I appreciate all of you. I hope you have a great weekend. Be kind. Listen to some music. Have a great Sunday. A great Saturday. Bye. 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 Love you all.